So in this video, I'm going to be talking about why some handsome and attractive men still struggle when it comes to dating women. And it has nothing to do with their looks. Typically, these men are going to still be physically desirable to women, and they're even going to be able to attract women to them a lot easier than most men. But a lot of men, even if they're handsome and attractive, still struggle when it comes to retaining women, when it comes to interacting with women. And there's a lot of different things that actually cost them success when it comes to women, even despite the fact that they are handsome and attractive. So that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So whether you are a man that is considered handsome and attractive to women, or you're someone that is putting in the work to become more handsome and attractive, because I really create videos for those type of men. Regardless, this video is going to be beneficial to either type of man. So be sure that you stay throughout this entire video. That way you're not the man that's struggling with women, even if you are physically attractive. So let's go ahead and let's hop into it. So the first point is that some men still lack confidence because they hold on to an old self-image from before their glow up. So I've worked with a lot of guys that are considered handsome and attractive to women. They put in the work to become more handsome and attractive. They've dropped body fat. They packed on lean muscle mass. They've maximized their facial aesthetics. They've dialed in their fashion, their style, their overall physical presentation, and their physical sex appeal. Like, they're physically more desirable to women now. But there was a time when they were younger, typically in high school, middle school, elementary school, when they were not attractive, when they were still developing. Maybe guys that were skinny or guys that were overweight. I've had clients that I've worked with that are considered physically attractive and desirable to women, but they were made fun of when they were younger. It's like the ugly duckling phenomenon, where somebody that was once unattractive, whether it's a man or a woman, they were once unattractive, but then they glow up and now they're desirable and they're attractive, but they still feel like that ugly duckling on the inside. This is just a mismatch with your self-image and how people perceive you on the outside. Usually when you maximize your looks, you're going to become more attractive. You're going to get more attention. You're going to get more validation. You are going to experience more dating success. Not to what degrees, that's going to depend on the man, but you will typically experience more dating success and just overall more positive treatment from your environment, from people in general. But the thing that most men don't do is that they'll upgrade their physical presentation, their facial aesthetics, their physique, their fashion, their style, their overall physical presentation, but they don't change the man that is on the inside. They don't upgrade the man on the inside with his external upgrades. See, a lot of men are handsome and attractive on the outside and they put in the work to glow up, but there's still that unattractive, skinny, or overweight, or just low confident young man or kid even that they once were in the past. And they still view themselves as that way because they've experienced some trauma to varying degrees. They've experienced some trauma. They've been made fun of. They've just had some bad experiences that have caused them to have low confidence. So regardless of what the world may tell them, regardless of the female attention and validation and experience that they have, the positive results that they have on the outside, they still feel like that kid that was unattractive and lacked confidence on the inside. And again, that's your self-image. And the way you start to fix that is that, number one, you have to remember the past is in the past. You're no longer that young man. You're no longer that kid. You are who you are right now in the present. And the second thing that you must do, similarly to like how if you work out, I would assume you do, or that you're interested in working out, you work out consistently, you work out your body consistently. You're constantly consuming the right calories and tracking your calories and tracking your lifts to progress when it comes to your overall fitness goals. You must reflect on your evidence. You must constantly consume the positive experiences and results that you've received as a handsome and attractive man. And you have to constantly review this. I suggest men that I work with that you create an evidence board, or you create a folder in your phone where you have screenshots of just results, whether this is with women, this is with fitness, it doesn't matter, like positive results that reinforce that you are a different man, that you are a more attractive, more desirable, more valuable man, that you're no longer that unattractive, low confident young man. And you have to constantly reflect on your results. Reflect on your evidence. I'm big on evidence because you can't refute it if it's actually real and factual. This sounds silly. This sounds probably dumb to people. This sounds corny to some people, but this is why a lot of people have poor self-images, because they're constantly reviewing the game tape of their losses, but they're not reviewing the game tape of their wins and how to actually continue to improve. If you constantly look at your losses, if you constantly review your game tapes of you losing, and I'm just saying metaphorically, if you constantly reflect on how you were when you were younger, or your negative experiences with women or people in general, if you constantly reflect on that, that's constantly how you're going to view yourself. That's constantly how you're going to act and treat yourself. You have to reflect on your evidence, reflect on the evidence, the proof, the screenshots, the experiences. You have to constantly reflect on these experiences daily, because that's how you're going to rewire your self-image and your mindset. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a long time, actually, because you're trying to unwire years, potentially decades of an old self-image. But I'm telling you, the more that you do this every single day, like, I don't care if you get up in the morning, you go into your phone, you look at your folder, just go through your screenshots of just women telling you how attractive you are and the matches you got on dating apps and girls sliding into your Instagram DMs, your before and after pictures of you transforming your physique. Like, this sounds vain. This sounds corny to some people, probably extra, but it freaking works though. It works. So then what else is the solution? Because this comes down to self-image. You have to do this daily, because this is going to rewire the way that you view yourself, the way that you carry yourself. You're going to remind yourself of who you are. Like, have you ever seen that meme? I've seen this on Instagram where the meme is basically like hyping my boy up after his girlfriend broke up with him, and I have to remind him of his stats before he got into a relationship. Have you ever seen that meme before? Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about. You got to do that for yourself every single day. You got to be your own hype man. You have to constantly reflect on your stats and reflect on your rarity of a man. You have to do this every single day, because nobody else is going to do this for you. Most hating ass dudes aren't going to do it because they're going to feel in competition with you. And a lot of women aren't going to do this directly and outright either, because a lot of them don't want you to have the leverage over them and know how rare of a dude that you are. And then therefore you're going to mistreat them and discard them and act like they're nothing. No one's really incentivized to tell you how much of that dude that you are other than you. So you got to do it for yourself. And a lot of handsome and attractive men struggle with this, especially if they were once that ugly duckling. And I don't say that in a disrespectful way, but I'm just saying guys that were once unattractive, put in the work, had a glow up. Now they're attractive. Now they're receiving a whole different positive experience than they once had before. But the problem is, especially in the younger years, when you've experienced trauma, people mistreating you, being made fun of, being rejected by women, even at a young age, that sticks with you, right? That definitely sticks with you. So you got to rewire your self-image, or else even if you're handsome and attractive, you're going to sabotage your results. And that leads me to point number 2, is that a lot of guys, even if they're handsome and attractive, they may rely too much on their looks and they never build charisma, social skills, or emotional intelligence. And I've had guys that reached out to me and have told me that they're handsome and attractive and that they can attract women, but they can't retain them. Part of that is going to be with your charisma, your social skills, how you talk to women, how you interact with women. That's going to be part of your energy. That's going to be part of your energy. And to piggyback off the last point, when you are a handsome and attractive man, but you still come off like that unattractive, low confident, low self-esteem young man or kid that maybe you once were in the past, that's how you sabotage your results, because women are going to expect you to be confident, nonchalant, laid back, charismatic, cool. They're going to expect you to be in this way, because typically men that have the physical attributes and physical appeal, those men that have that type of effect on women, that's typically how they act, because they've received a lot of positive feedback from their environment and from dating to influence those behavior traits, to influence those skills when it comes to interacting with women. So that's how you self-sabotage yourself. That's why it's another reason to dial in your self-image and rewire it to be a more positive self-image. And it's just the way you view yourself, the way you carry yourself. And a lot of guys rely too much on their looks and think that they don't have to put in any effort to get women. They don't have to put in any effort to talk to women. No, you still do. You still have to put in effort, but it's not going to be to the degrees that other men have to. But you still have to develop your social skills. If you feel like your lack of social skills are costing you opportunities with women, you need to be constantly putting yourself in opportunities to talk to people, men and women. Whenever you go out, say hi to 3 to 5 new people every day. If you go to Starbucks, just ask the barista, hey, how's your day going? Or yeah, how have things been going with you? Or hey, I like that necklace on you. That's nice. Or I love that tattoo. That's sick. What does that mean to you? Start conversations with people, man. You got to get in the habit and get more volume and reps of conversations. Even if you're scared, even if you're nervous, even if you think you're going to come off cringy, who cares? A lot of that is false assumptions in your mind. And the way to break those false assumptions is by having exposure therapy and putting yourself in situations where you're talking to more people. And just when it comes to women, you need to get better at talking to women in general. And part of what's probably screwing up guys, again, is a negative self-image and being incongruent with their looks and how women are going to perceive them. Probably coming from a needy, desperate, low-value position with their energy and how they're pedestalizing the woman and treating them. It may not necessarily be because you're not a smooth-talking dude, although that's a part of it, right? That's a part of it as far as just interacting with them. But But the way you get better at talking to women and people in general is put yourself in more opportunities to where you're talking to women, to you're talking to people in general. I've been in sales positions. I used to work at Paxson when I was in high school. I used to work at a grocery store, so I was constantly talking to new people. I used to be a bank teller, so I was constantly meeting new people and talking to older folks. Like, I've constantly had to be in situations where I developed my social skills. And it was no surprise that I was good at my presentation classes in college. Even though I used to be scared shitless of doing presentations, I got really good at presentations because I believe I was in these different roles, sales positions, and just in positions where you talk to different people every single day. Regardless if you look at this or not, everything's a skill. Just like how playing basketball, getting good at basketball is a skill, so is talking to people, so is talking to women. And when it comes to dating, when it comes to interacting with women from a romantic interest aspect of things, what has worked for me, I'm just going to be honest with you, has been attracting women to me through social media and dating apps, because I've been able to attract women at a higher volume rate, fast and consistently, which then allowed me to really skyrocket my social skills, in particular with women, very fast, because I was getting a lot of reps attracting women to me. And because I had more opportunities to talk to women, that meant that I was talking to more women, which meant that I was improving my skill set of talking to new women and talking to women just consistently. So now not only am I a physically attractive and desirable man to women, but now I'm becoming more socially attractive, more charismatic. But really, you just have to get more volume of reps when it comes to talking to people. That's how you get better at your social skills. And you don't want to just be reliant on your looks. Your looks should be physically appealing and have an effect on women where they are naturally drawn to you, and that is doing a lot of the heavy lifting. But you also, in my opinion, because I believe you should be the best of the best, you should be socially skilled. You should have charisma to you, emotional intelligence. Like, you can read, talk to certain people, like you can gauge a vibe for how a person is. Okay, this person's more shy, this person's more outgoing, this person responds better to this type of topics, this person doesn't, right? Okay, based on their energy and how they're responding to me, maybe I need to chill a little bit, maybe I need to be more direct with my questions and conversations. Like, you have to get a better read and calibration on people. This is a skill. But the more socially skilled you can become, the more charismatic you can become, on top of being a good looking man, bro, you're a killer out here. This is like knowing striking and grappling, bro. Not many people can mess with you, but you got to get more reps at talking to people, get in more sales positions, work jobs that require you to talk to new people. But when you go out, man, talk to new people, compliment people, ask them how their day is going. You don't have to have a full-on blown conversation or force anything, but just say hello. How's your day going? Oh, what time do you get off? Oh, okay, you got 4 more hours, man. You're almost there. Time's gonna go by before you know it. You got this. Start conversations that way. You'll get better at being more socially skilled and charismatic, and become more holistically attractive, and not have to rely on your looks. Your looks are gonna be like the cake, but when you develop more social skills and charisma, they're also gonna be the cherry on top. And if you're one of those men that are handsome and attractive, and you can attract women to you, but it's hard to retain them, or you feel like things constantly fizzle out, you feel like you're not coming off like that handsome and attractive man as women will perceive you to be as soon as they see you. And hell, maybe you've been ghosted by women, or maybe you've even been rejected even as a handsome and attractive man. If you want extra help when it comes to not just being handsome and attractive on the outside, but coming off that way from the inside, and actually not only being able to attract women to you, but actually being able to retain them, that way you're not just attracting women and losing out on them, but you're attracting women and keeping them, then I would highly suggest that you check out the free training that I made specifically for you. I'll have a link down below in the description and the pinned comment. Another reason why handsome and attractive men will struggle with women is because a lot of handsome and attractive men don't understand that women would have dealt with a handful of handsome and attractive men in the past, even guys that look similar to them and are the same type of archetype and phenotype of the man, as far as the same look, similar features, same race, stuff like that. A lot of handsome and attractive men don't understand that women may have dealt with men like them, maybe not a whole bunch, maybe a handful, but they may have had bad experiences with those men. So because they've had bad experiences with those men, and those men may look similar to you, let's say, women are going to then test the next handsome and attractive man a lot harder. Women are, and there's going to be certain women that have been hurt before, women that are insecure, women that view things from a scarcity mentality, scarcity lens. You're going to deal with BS like this from certain women that just overall they're operating from a place of scarcity and hurt. But you're going to see that these type of women are going to test harder. Some of these women are going to play games. They're going to intentionally not compliment the man, or not make it seem like she's really into the handsome and attractive man. Not because she's not, but because she's trying to protect her feelings. She's trying to protect her ego, and she doesn't want that man to have leverage over her like how the other men that she dealt with in the past did, and how that resulted in her maybe not being able to lock that man down, maybe being cheated on, being another girl on that man's roster, whatever the situation is. So you're going to see that certain women, not all the time, but certain women are going to play hard to get. test you more and play games because of past experiences that they've had with handsome and attractive men. Which leads me into my last point, man, is that some women will just reject or avoid attractive men altogether because they're going to assume that he's a player, he's too good for them, that man is out of their league, even if this is an attractive woman, right? Even if the handsome and attractive man finds a particular woman attractive, she may think that man is too good for her. She may think that he has been with more attractive women than her. She may feel like he's taken, that he's too out of reach. And this is why you're going to see that some women may be standoffish with you. But you're going to see that some women, again, may play hard to get because they may be struggling to wrap their head around the fact that you are into them or that a handsome and attractive man would be into her. And a lot of that is because they've probably experienced the flip side of what I've talked about in the first point of this video, as far as they could have been unattractive when they were younger, dealt with some trauma, had some negative experiences, which then resulted in them having low confidence, low self-esteem. And even though they may have grown up to be an attractive woman that a lot of people find attractive, that most people find attractive, those women may feel like they're less attractive. Those women may feel like they're ugly, that they're average. You see what I'm saying? And that they're not deserving of the handsome and attractive man that they want. So some women may reject you. Some women may just play games and just self-sabotage something with you, not because they're not into you, not because they don't want handsome and attractive men, but because they've dealt with a lot of BS in their life and they can't see why you would want them, why you would be into them. Instead of them saying, why wouldn't he be into me? They're asking themselves, why would he be? And women that think that way, depending on how much they lack confidence and how low their self-esteem is, that could be problematic. You'll deal with women that may be hot and cold with you. They may act confusing and just play games, not because you're not a desirable man, not because you're not attractive to them, but just because they've dealt with a lot of BS. They don't really know themselves and they have a lot of their own issues that they have to fix as well. But instead of fixing those things within themselves, they play games with you. They play hot and cold games with you. They may reject you or just avoid you altogether. Also, women don't want to deal with the competition anxiety that comes with being with a handsome and attractive man. So just understand that you're going to have women that may reject you, be standoffish, play games with you, not because they don't find you attractive or desirable, it's because they do, but they may not feel good enough for you. They may have had some bad experiences, or they just don't want to deal with the competition anxiety that comes with being with a man like you. And if you're tired of dealing with some of the BS that I've talked about in this video, if you're tired of being that handsome, attractive man that can attract women to him, but then you always self-sabotage your situations with women, maybe you can attract women and keep them for a week, then things are constantly fizzling out. You're constantly having to attract new women because you can't keep any women, and you're just tired of not being as confident and as attractive on the inside as you are perceived to be on the outside. And if you want to not only be more attractive physically, but also be more attractive holistically, mentally, confidence-wise, energetically, and having more thriving and abundant dating life, then again, check out that free training that I made for you. I'll have a link down below in the description and the pinned comment. With that being said, I hope you got a lot of value from this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.